Hello everyone, I am doing a review of Star Trek Discovery, the two-part premiere on CBS All Access. I think if you're outside the US, it is also on Netflix, but to get started with, is it worth watching? Yeah, if you like Star Trek, it's probably worth watching. I'm not too sure if it feels like if it gives you that Star Trek feel yet. The two episodes weren't enough to establish that. It was a very contained story. It was it could have been a movie if you want to put it that way. It wasn't. The two episodes were definitely part of one story, and it was one situation happening. The show was very procedural in some manners. Much like the old shows were a little bit, like the proceedings of the ship and the command structure and stuff like that. And there was action. I think there is definitely a balance to do between the new movies and the classic Star Trek, because classic Star Trek had notoriously bad action. They didn't have the budget for good action. When they do action, it's pretty good. There were some that were great scenes, or I wouldn't say great, but they were executed properly, but they didn't go looking for action scenes like they do in the movies, the new movies. And as far as what universe this is in, all the indications seem to be going towards the J.J. Abrams universe. The Klingons look like the J.J. Abrams Klingons, and we saw some other things that were featured in the in the J.J. Abrams universe, specifically some Vulcan stuff that we only see them. Hi, I'm doing a review right now, buddy. Yeah. Sorry. But that brings up the Klingons. They are doing a lot of retconning kind of the Klingons. Well, I don't know. I'm not like a fan to where I've read into and know like all the Klingon lore and mythology and stuff, and some of this might be coming from, but they're giving the Klingons a very mythical and religious tone that they really didn't have in the old series that I knew of, that I saw. I remember the Klingons kind of being a militaristic order, kind of. They were meant to be communist. I really wish that they would have just, I guess, found a new race, and I think it's going to cause some problems with this series, because you need the successful Star Trek series have all had a new race. The original series, it was the Klingons for the most part, and other random ones, but the Klingons were the staple of, the original Enterprise. The Borg were of Next Generation. Voyager kind of had some issues. They reused the Borg. Voyager is the least of almost, I think, all of them to me, but they distinctly lacked their own main villain. And then you had Deep Space Nine, which had two of them, and those worked fairly well. And then Enterprise did have their own. I forget the name of them, but all those series had their own separate villains. And this one, they're staking it so much on the Klingons, which they don't have to. If they had established something similar with just a different race, they would have been fine. It wouldn't have been an issue. they could have done the same story. So I don't get their motivation to stay with the Klingons. If it was just for name purposes, brand purposes, the Klingons are known and they draw an audience, but I don't think you need that in this case. But overall, I would say it's worth watching. I don't know if it's going to depend on you if it's worth a CBS All Access account. You can try it out for free though and see what you think for yourself. Just if you don't like it, remember to cancel. And yeah, that's my non-spoiler review. I'm gonna go into more depth in a spoiler review here soon. It's late and my puppy wants to go to sleep, so I'm gonna end this video here. Subscribe. I'm gonna do one of these every week. I debated whether to do reactions to it, but I know that Paramount or CBS or whoever owns the rights to Star Trek is not very lenient on that sort of thing with YouTube. I know of several YouTubers that have had strikes against them from, doing classic Star Trek reactions and stuff like that, so I just don't want to bother with it. But yeah, tell me your opinions. If you think it was good, if you think it was garbage, everyone's opinion's valid, just be civil. And I'll see you guys next time.